I live as a soft, fleshy, objectified human of the world. Those are the words of Franny Choi, 36, Asian American, queer, poet, female. See how easy it is to reduce someone to words? On this stage, you could do the same thing to me. After all, I'm barely an adult, I'm just a girl, I'm Chinese American. I mean, it's what history loves to do, especially to its marginalized. You get the medical discrimination and the racial profiling and the gender roles. You get the double glance and the single label. You get the name calling, the misnaming, and then the renaming. And your body becomes a text for everyone else to write but you. My name is April Yu, and I've been writing since I was 8 years old. I started on this children's site, it was called Storybird, and all I ever wrote was teen dramas and romances and all these things I would see in the movies, because at the time, writing to me was just having fun. It meant I could just put my fantasies on a page, and that was it. Like, I wouldn't think about it ever again. But at times, fantasy and writing can have a truth in it that's greater than any nonfiction. Fantasy, at times, can be the truth that you want to tell the way that you want to tell it. And it's through that type of fantastical poetry that an entire legion of poets and writers have been able to take their bodies and reclaim it. In Ilya Kaminsky's Deaf Republic, Kaminsky uses deafness, this disability that so many look down upon, as a form of political insurgency. And at first, the world that he creates in this poetry book is very much like ours. It's a place where military violence is prevalent. It's a place where deafness is looked down upon. But in this world, when one day a small young boy is shot by the military, the entire world wakes up and they forget to hear soldiers. They speak only with hand gestures and signs. They say, this is not just, this is not right. They say that their deafness is not their lack, but it is their greatest power. Now, Kaminsky himself, he grew up nearly deaf starting from the age of 4. And by creating his personal deaf republic in that poetry book, he was able to reclaim all of the oppression that he felt living in a former Soviet Union city as a deaf boy and adult, and reclaim it for his own. Because isn't that what writing really is about? Rearranging the scars on your body and your life into the words on your page? Let's talk about Franny Choi now, because she is one of my favorite poets of all time because of her ability to take her body and put that into her bodies of work. In one of her books, Soft Science, it's this gruesome study of how a woman's body can be deconstructed and rebuilt and stripped down by society. In this book, she goes through so many forms. She says that her body is like a compost heap. She says that her veins burst open in white light. She says that she's a sinking freighter, a thin blade, and a hollow bone all at once. And through that poetry, she's able to explore the many ways that other people see her body. In an interview about that book, she talks about how she knows that her female body is this object of desire and fantasy and power. But she also says in that very same interview that writing about it was an exercise in imagining and in feeling free. And now there's so many other writers who do this very same thing, who use their bodies in their work as a vessel of intimacy, love, desire, hatred, conflict, history, and ultimately power. Yusuf Kumunyaka, in one of his poems, talks about how his body is like a sack of dung, but he also says that it is like a compass needle that is always divining West Africa's dusty horizon, the place where he came from and where he can always return. Now, I'm a teenage girl, I'm 17 this year, and I'm no stranger to seeing strangers constantly reinventing themselves online. Everyone tries to digitally make themselves over to these 15-second sound bites, and the more you scroll, the more that you want to reinvent yourself too, not just in poetry, but also physically. And let other people create a name for what you call yourself. But it's through Choi, through Kaminsky, and through the words that I wrote to get to this stage today that I realized that the greatest power comes from the words from your own mouth. That anyone can take your body and strip it down, colonize it, and redefine it, but you are the one who gets to live in it. Ann Boyer, breast cancer patient turned writer, says it best. There is a body, and it is vulnerable. There is a mouth, and it must open. Thank you.